eyes are on Jamar Chase. He just crossed the century mark last week with 107 yards. It's the Bengals and the Ravens, and it's all up next on EA Sports.
With Chesapeake Bay gleaming in the distance, we are inside M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland. Today, we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. So now the Ravens getting ready for their first go on offense. They'll be led out by the first Wyoming quarterback to go in the first round, standing 6'5". It's Josh Allen.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown pass.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets, and bottom line, how do they get a win?
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
These two teams, they met up earlier in the year, back in Week 2. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home.
Here's Allen. And this throw will be intercepted.
Daxton Hill picks it off, and the Bengals are going to take possession of the football.
Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. So here are the Bengals now in great field position to start.
And at quarterback from the University of Oregon, it's Justin Herbert.
And he's been playing at an elite level here in this early half of the season. Tops in the league in touchdown passes at this point. This is definitely a wide-open offense, so we'll see if he can keep his string of good games going right here.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt.
And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort.
It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
On first down, Justin Herbert.
Got a man open, it's Chase. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. The Bengals at a perfect 5-0 here to begin the campaign. They've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And this team is absolutely playing their best football right now. This is the best that we've seen.
Herbert has it knocked free.
Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is?
Touchdown! Jamar Chase with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bengals are on the board first on the road here in Baltimore. They said that they wanted to get him involved early, and what a way to cap their opening drive, Charles. We know he's one of the fastest receivers in the NFL, and he showcased it on that play.
And when you have a guy like that, you want to make sure the defense sees him early, right? You want to see how they're going to adjust, how they're going to try and guard him, because they can't replicate his speed in practice unless they've got one of the few guys who are as fast as he is. And all it took was one drive. He burned them, and I don't think it's the last time they call his number in this one.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he returns this to the 22.
Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. Second down. Now, this defense for the Bengals, they were terrific last week in the victory over Kansas City.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
I certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Now a pass hauled in downfield, and they're going to move it down to inside the 25.
We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well, because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Here's Allen to throw it. That's caught left side. Myers with it. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line. Options galore here. 2nd and a few inches. Up the middle, it's Edwards. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. A 5-yard gain there makes it 1st and goal. So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A great effort there. His first NFL reception goes for 6. And the Ravens are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Justin Tucker for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Jamar Chase hoping to be at center stage yet again as the offense returns to the field.
He's well on his way to a 1,000-yard season, maybe on pace to just tear past that, Charles. Defensively, they need to pay a little bit more attention to him.
Yeah, I think so, because remember, throwing the football, that can shred a defense quicker than anything else, because as soon as the catch is made, he still has the ability to, yards after catch, get downfield, gain even more, score touchdowns, all of that. This is going to be a lot of fun to watch as this progresses, to see how they defend it and how he changes up his game in order to try and keep getting open.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
first down now. And he's got this to Jefferson. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
Herbert setting up to throw on first down.
And he will find his man Chase complete.
And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
On first down, it's Herbert. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to him.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
Now, quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete. So, Charles, you look at this offense, so what a start to the season. 5 wins without a loss. When do you think that you start believing that maybe you're in the midst of something special?
Well, you and I both know every head coach never wants that thought to creep into a locker room. But the truth of the matter is, not quite at this time, because if we look at the Steelers in 2020, they're a great example. Remember, they started 11-0. Then lost 5 of 6 and went out in the first round. But I think if you get toward mid-November, the Thanksgiving time frame, and you're still doing this, that's when things start to get real for a ball club.
Herbert operating from the red zone.
And he'll go right back to Chase. That's caught again.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 10 more for him on that one. He's been a busy man. It's a first down.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a first and goal.
Herbert now.
That's to Chase. He's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Jamar Chase
with career touchdown number 75.
And the Bengals have taken the lead.
Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return.
Now a hit and a loose football. And the Bengals have recovered it. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
And while all of that was going on, we have an injured player out there in need of some attention. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment.
Let's go, fellas.
On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set them up.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll run again with Hunt. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
Through 1 quarter, 14-7 our score. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Back to throw here, Herbert.
Got an open man finding Jefferson. And the Bengals are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start.
Now Herbert with it, looking to pass toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time.
Hunt will take this one in. Touchdown, Cincinnati. So, Charles, that's 3 touchdowns on 3 drives, and it's just been an offensive barrage so far.
Great word, partner, using barrage right there. I'm going to add another word if you don't mind. How about perfection? No surprise that they're leading right now. Absolute dominance throughout this ball game and no signs of slowing down.
McPherson on for the point after.
It's good, and it is now 21-7. 5 plays there on that drive. And Kareem Hunt, the one to finish it off, as he did so with a touchdown run.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field.
Yeah, they dipped a game below 500 following the loss last week, and you get the sense that maybe this team's at a little bit of a crossroads here.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to put it, because what's that old malaprop? If you come to a fork in the road, take it. Because this crew, they're losing ground fast. They've got to start winning some ball games. And the good teams, they're starting to separate themselves, and these guys are being left behind.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Again, it's Edwards. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. Fielded at the 33. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. So here are the Bengals set to take over. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat in this ball game as well. A very good starting field position from the Bengals here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Justin Jefferson bring it into slant. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. Following the play now, they're going to stop the clock here as a man is shaken up. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
Here we go, set.
Hunt will try going up the middle, and they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Now a handoff. Hunt's going to run left. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 10 yards there on a Bengal first. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage, but every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, That allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
A give right side now to Hunt. Shoves him aside. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. And Hunt is not going to get there. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Remember, that was less than a yard. That was not a full yard. That defense, they were having none of it.
Yeah, the surge the offensive line was seeking actually occurred on the other side of the ball. They reestablished the line of scrimmage and stuffed them.
Let's go now.
They run for it with Hunt. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down.
So this offense able to convert on 4th, and now a fresh set of downs here, 1st and 10.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hunt.
And some determined running there as he'll pick his way down to the 12-yard line. 51 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has 3 options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule, the triple option at the college level, most things are called outside of the quarterback faking it to the runner and then keeping it himself and maybe having a trail back. What I mean is, in the NFL, that option to throw the football all comes about organically. It's a natural deal based on reads. In college, if you're going to throw the football for triple option, you've actually called that play.
From the 4, it's 2nd and a couple.
Handoff up the middle, Hunt. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Give him 2 yards. That sets him up 1st and goal. Here's Herbert.
That's to Chase. He's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Jamar Chase
on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns.
And the Bengals have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns.
So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. To throw, it's Allen.
This throw taken in by Isaiah Likely.
He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now Allen. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on third down. So far, only allowed one conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
This is fielded at the 27. It's a 39-yard punt, 8 on the return.
And the Bengals take over 1st and 10. There's the versatile back, Kareem Hunt, getting set with the rest of this offense for the next drive.
And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. They run right side with Hunt. Some tough running, but it only gets him to the 45. They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football. Justin Herbert looking to pass. He's got Hurst, his tight end.
And he is going to have the Bengals 1st down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches.
On 1st and 10, Herbert.
He's going to have the hook up here to Chase. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause, to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
Herbert.
Another one into the hands of Jamar Chase.
And they eventually get to him at the 17 after a pickup of 17 into the red zone, 1st down. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
Herbert back to the air.
That's to Chase. He's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Jamar Chase
on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns.
And the Bengals continue to pull away here in this 1st half. Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And the route is on here in this 1st half. So this drive spans 7 plays.
And it was Jamar Chase who finished it off with a touchdown reception.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
And you wonder if with Allen's arm, they might just take their chances by dialing up a long one.
They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And the running lane's non-existent in this 1st half as they'll stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll get started out west in Las Vegas. And it's the Raiders out in front as they approach halftime. Derek Carr has a couple of touchdown passes there. From there, we head over to the West Coast. Check out the Niners at home.
Message received here. No need to wait. We're going to skip halftime and get right back to the action. Here comes the 3rd quarter. All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3.
Stevenson elects not to return it. It's a touchback. There's a look at receiver Jamar Chase as the Bengals get set to go on offense.
What a game for him, Charles. 4 touchdowns. Heck, for a lot of guys, that's a good season number.
You're exactly right. And let's face it, we have to stand up and applaud this one, even though we're supposed to be neutral, because this doesn't just happen by accident. This isn't 4 times where the defense just falls down or breaks coverage. He's worked awfully hard, changing routes, changing areas, changing angles, and getting open for touchdowns.
We knew he'd be part of the game plan in a big way, and it has been in a very big way.
Well, I think after that run, the defense getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
They run again with Hunt.
And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. 82 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Meanwhile, Herbert's throw here on target to Hurst. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 9.
Now it's Herbert.
Middle of the field to Jefferson. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
On 1st down, Justin Herbert. Throw left side, caught by the tight end Hurst.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. 2nd and 7, operating from the 34.
Again, Herbert.
And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal.
Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down. Here's Herbert.
Got a man. It's Chase. He completes it.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. That 3rd down conversion good for 23. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense.
Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson.
And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. Throwing again on 2nd down. Herbert. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I had to do a double take on that one, Brandon, because so far in this game, we haven't seen many of his passes fall incomplete.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. They'll run with Hunt. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
McPherson's kick is good.
And that will extend their lead even further.
So after 5 touchdowns offensively, hey, maybe it's time to get the kicker a little work, and he's able to connect there.
I love that empathetic side of you. You're worried about him getting some action, getting to be a part of the game. Well, he got in and got it done.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the 2nd half.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the 2nd half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, Let's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Allen from the gun on 3rd down. Open man is Jacoby Myers. He's got it. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. Up the middle, here's Edwards. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. You don't see that a ton, do you? With a cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Allen, open man is Myers. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Allen. That pass complete to Deontay Hardy. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 41 yards. And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play. So now, following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. They'll run here with Edwards. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. Again, it'll be Edwards. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pick up a 3. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. 3rd and goal, trying to make that scoreboard at least a little more respectable. Throwing now is Allen. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Trey Hendrickson able to record his 5th sack of the season.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
One final try here for Allen. And it'll be intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And the Bengals are going to get the ball back on the turnover. They hold on 4th and goal. And with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
Jamar Chase hoping to be at center stage yet again as the offense returns to the field.
Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting it, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, and he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. A carry here for Hunt. Uses the stiff arm. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
105 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
Partner, I know we're still in the afternoon slate here, some primetime games still on the docket, but it's going to be tough to top this effort. What an offensive performance we have seen. They have been unstoppable from the moment we began this game, and they're not holding back. They're still throwing the football here in the fourth.
They certainly are, and let me tell you something. If you're old school, you don't like this at all, but in today's football, you just go ahead and savor it. Watch a team execute at a high level. Doesn't matter what the scoreboard says.
Here's Hunt. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
Well, there's absolutely been no stopping this offense today. They already have the big lead, obviously. Here in the fourth quarter, they could coast to the end, but right now they're not passing up any chances to put up some garbage time yardage.
And, partner, why would they? Because who knows the next time you'll be playing as well as you have today. When you're in that zone, you go ahead and take full advantage of it. You don't worry about your opponent. You just worry about what you're doing.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. This is Hunt. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do. Late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise.
Trying to get it to Chase, but it's intercepted.
Picked off by Von Bell.
And the Ravens are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7. So a good drive with a bad ending, Charles. They move it down the field well. Cannot finish it off, though, as it's intercepted in the end zone.
Deflating, that has got to be the word here because they were sharp in moving it down the field. But sometimes you start thinking like a touchdown is a given. And it doesn't always work out that way as we saw there.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And that nearly intercepted. Well, it's incomplete. Now, remember, he had a pick earlier, but couldn't reel that one in.
Throwing is Allen on third. Forced, and he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Trey Hendrickson able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns, and a late sack, just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. Taking on the midfield logo. That'll go as a 39-yard punt, give him 9 on the return, and the Bengals will take over in terrific field position.
There's a look at receiver Jamar Chase as the Bengals get set to go on offense.
And now he's inching closer to a 200-yard game. He's been so solid.
And he's really denting the pride of the guys playing defense, too, because there's certain barriers that you just don't want to give up. Never want to give him a 100-yard rusher, a 100-yard receiver. He's closing in on 200 yards. Wow, that's a really big game.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Herbert. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. And that is incomplete.
A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
Well, ultimately, not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory. But it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one.
First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. James has got it. Complete.
Finding space at the 40. Now he's loose at the 40.
And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. A big play that time on the catch and run. 35 yards.
And Charles, of interest here, that last throw is going to put him over 20,000 yards passing for his career. And that's not a bad number.
You're exactly right about that. And even though it's nowhere near the top of the leaderboard, because when you think about it, Brady and Breeze, they've done that 4 times over. But when you hit 20,000, let's face it, only a little over 100 guys have ever done that in the NFL. It's worthy of some applause.
It's another first down on what will be a gain of 21 yards.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And he's got it. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead drops from 34 down to 27. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Take it in at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Cincinnati set to take over once again. And this one has gone pretty well to form. They've come in, had little problem thus far, and now they'll try to polish things off in the 4th.
Here we go, here we go.
They'll begin the drive with Hunt. Oh, nice move.
123 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. They'll run again with Hunt. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Brandon, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about to run them into submission.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
We'll get this up to about the 44.
Holding. Offense.
That's on the guard, Alex Kappa.
Here's a handoff to Hunt running left. It's a gain of 3, and it'll be 2nd down.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is of all those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Bengals, they remain as hot as anyone at 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they'll return home next week to take on the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year.
And they'll be on the road next week as they travel to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers.